So, this whole idea of aliveness boils down to one pretty simple concept. In fact, it's so simple it almost seems ridiculous. And I call it the circle. Well, what's a circle? You know, a circle is that which defines what's important to a person. Whatever that is in your circle. Whatever gets you out of bed in the morning is in your circle. And everybody's got something in their circle. Now, you can have a very, very small circle that the only thing you get out of bed for every day is just to please yourself. So you're a selfish person who's only focused on your needs, your wants. Your whole life is driven to please yourself. Now, what I imagine is true is if you have a small circle, you have a small life. You don't have much influence over other people. You aren't doing much that's very profound. But when you expand your circle, your life becomes more meaningful and more useful. So there are some natural things that expand a person's circle, at least many people's circles. So, if you're married, you probably remember the time before you were married, when you were single. And when you were single, you were free. You could come and go as you please. You could spend your money however you wanted to. You could be with anybody you wanted to be with, any way you wanted to be with them. And then you found this person and fell in love with them, and you put them in your circle, and your circle got bigger. And to do that well, to really care for that person, you've got to give up some freedom. You think about how you spend your money. You think about how you spend your time. And so maybe you lost some freedom, but what you get the opportunity to learn to love somebody in a profound way. And if you give yourself to that and you're successful at that, it changes you forever. You become a whole different person, a person with deeper values and deeper perspective, more useful person, a more satisfied person, a richer human being. Then, some people decide they don't ever want to have children. It makes sense because children kind of dominate your life. And if you remember what it was like not to have children, your house was quiet, your car was neat, you could do whatever you wanted to do as a couple. But then you chose to expand your circle. You put children in your circle. And now your life is chaotic and your car is messy and you're up in the middle of the night, walking some child, not getting any rest. So all of this pain you've taken on, all this sacrifice, what did you get for that? You got the opportunity to create a human being. You got to be like God. I mean, you talk about a profound experience. And then you get the responsibility of shaping this life from nothing to being whatever you think it should be. I mean, you talk about something that changes a human being. Unfortunately, beyond that, we don't often expand our circle. We kind of stop. But every time you do expand it, it requires that you remake yourself in a way that is unbelievably magical. So my theory here is a great person, anyone you'd consider great, doesn't matter who it is, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, I like Gandhi, is just an ordinary person like you or me who just drew a big circle. And once you take on responsibility for the Indian people, now you've got to become a very special person. So any of us at any time can expand our circle. You think about like a person's circle at work. So the smallest circle at work may be, I'm just here to get a paycheck. So if that's what's in your circle, you come to work, you do the least you have to do for the shortest amount of time, and as soon as the bell rings, you go home. Nothing wrong with living that way. But how do you ever get promoted that way? How do you ever advance that way? How do you ever grow that way? As soon as you expand your circle and say, I'm not just here for a paycheck, I'm here to learn something I don't know. So my circle's bigger. Now I come to work and I ask for new opportunities. I ask for new assignments. I show interest in other things. I make myself actually more useful to my boss. I make it more likely that I'll be promoted. But I did it by expanding my circle. Or I could expand my circle still bigger. Now I come to work to create the success of the company. I'm not just thinking about my job. I'm thinking about the impact I can have on everybody in the company to create more success. So now what I do is I show up with a different attitude. I encourage people. I show interest in what people are doing in their jobs. I try to connect people that aren't connected. Why? I just want the company to succeed. I could be the janitor and I could make sure the restroom's clean because a customer could come in this day and they could either buy or not buy because of the cleanliness of the restroom. How do I know? It just seems like when people create a bigger circle, they bring more life to themselves, they bring more life to the people around them, they create more opportunity, and they create much more opportunity for their success and the success of everyone.